Let's do it, man. Warriors won game 2.
Yeah, they did. You were sad, buddy.
Yeah, I was sad. It is what it is. We got the split.
Uh-huh.
Boston was on fire game 1.
Yeah.
Passed the torch to the Warriors, and they were on fire in game 2. Mm-hmm. I'm still very confident in them. As long as the refs don't let Draymond control the game.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So what's your question here? What are we doing? Should you be confident? Is that the question?
That's not really my question.
Okay.
Because I am confident.
So you're...
am I wrong for being confident?
You just decided that if first segment is really... Who cares what my take is? Demonte said, as long as the refs don't let Draymond control the game, we can keep it moving. Usually at the end of these, there's a question you ask me to prompt me into the discussion. Now, let me tell you why I was worried about Demonte. Yesterday, we had my mom's birthday dinner. And I knew I was going to time it right. And I also knew that I had a laptop with me, the ability to stream the game. If when we left, the game had started, we could watch it in the car together on the laptop with my wife driving. Demonte didn't know I had the laptop and started around 7:45 Eastern to get a little antsy, a little anxious. It was the first time of your life that I've seen that you were seriously invested in watching every second of a sporting event. Like there's not a Super Bowl, nothing has it been where like you didn't want to miss 1 second of it. So that made me very proud. That was like, for me, the equivalent of like you bringing home like an A+ on a math test. I was like, oh man, my son's growing up. I loved it so much. Now, I tend to actually, unfortunately, agree with your analysis. And we will talk.
Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of stole my thunder, and we're going to talk Draymond later in the segment. I mean, just try to keep up here. But I didn't think it was a game that was officiated particularly fairly. I think there are significant concerns for the Warriors. Most notably, everyone's pointing out this number, that Jayson Tatum had the worst plus-minus in finals history. That, to me, is not relevant. If you're the superstar player on a team that gets blown out, your plus-minus is going to be awful.
Right.
Here is the far more relevant number. This game was over after 3 quarters. After the third quarter, the Warriors were up 23 points. And then in the fourth quarter, it was basically garbage time, right? For the whole fourth quarter. Through 3 quarters, Klay Thompson, 22 minutes played, -1 in those 22 minutes. The Warriors were plus 24 in the 14 he sat. That's a noteworthy plus-minus. That's a plus-minus that shows this might not be a series for Klay. Everyone's overrating what Jordan Poole did. Jordan Poole was essentially benched by Kerr. And then at the very end of the third quarter, Kerr put him in for the first time in the second half. He hit those 2 threes, hit another one in the fourth. Jordan Poole's been a negative. I picked the Warriors on television. I got to tell you, by the time people hear and see this, I think I'm going to go back on TV and switch my pick. I never switch picks. I actually think the Celtics are in a really good position, Demonte.
I think that's a very rational thing to say at this point.
Here's the other thing. The Warriors, you said something interesting when Diora walked in the room. And she said, oh, do the Celtics have to win this game? And you said, nope, but the Warriors do. That was exactly right. NBA history, only 5 teams in the finals have ever come back from 2-0 down. And 3 of those 5, and I'll tell you what they were. Bill Russell's final championship, 1969, player coach, his 11th ring. They went down 2-0. They won in 7. Bill Walton's only championship, 1977, over Dr. J and the Sixers, down 2-0, 1-6. The D-Wade comeback against the Mavs, down 2-0, 1-6. And the other 2 are ones you watched that are very recent. Warriors up 2-0 on LeBron, and the Cavs in 2016 ended up going up 3-1, losing 7. And last year, Giannis and the Bucks are down 2-0, end up winning in 6. But so it's only been done 5 times where you come back from 2-0. It's never been done where a team is down 2-0 or 0-2 at home. So the Warriors had to win. They won. I think the Celtics are better.
Yeah, I think the Celtics game, winning game 1 holds more weight than the Warriors winning game 2.
Well, here's the thing. The Celtics wanted a split. They got their split. People in my business far too often overreact to the order of events rather than the events. If going into the finals, we would have said it's 1-1 going back to Boston, people would say, oh, that drastically favors the Celtics. But because it went 1-0 and then 1-1, people get it wrong. Okay, all right, what's next?
Yeah,
Try to ask a question with this one, okay? Not just a take. We got time for 2 takes over here. Go ahead.
Tatum hasn't played played to the standard in the finals so far.
Yep.
But he did carry the Celtics past KD, Giannis, and Jimmy Butler. But he's not looked like a top 10 guy in this series. Do you think he's out of gas, or is he just not quite in that top tier yet?
No, I think he has looked like a top 10 guy. He just hasn't looked like a top 1 guy. Here's the deal. And we've talked about this on the show before. One of the long tails, unintended consequences of the insane way sports media reacted to every single LeBron James moment and game as if it were legacy defining, and it got in people's brains that great players don't have bad games. Yeah. They do. There is one guy in the league right now that if he has a subpar game, you're shocked. It's Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis is the only guy that even on a bad night is good.
Right.
So I think Luka's the second best player in the league. Luka on a bad night he'll still have good counting numbers, but his defense will be lacking. He'll wear down at the end.
Right.
Tatum is top 10. Is he top 3? No, he's not top 3. But yesterday, I give you some numbers about the game 2 real quick, because that game was absolutely not on Tatum. Tatum for the game was 8 of 19 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, 28 points. Okay? So 8 of 19 from the field, right around 40%. Not great, not terrible. 6 of 9 from 3 is outstanding, 28 points. The other 8 rotation players for the Celtics: Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Daniel Tice, and there's someone I'm forgetting. Your guy, Time Lord, Robert Williams.
Yeah.
The other 8 guys that played were 16 of 51. 16 of 51, that's 30%, and 6 of 21 from 3. So Tatum was okay. Everyone else was terrible. Jaylen was 1 of 11 after the first quarter. Yeah. 1 of 11. So I don't put this one on Tatum. All right, Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.